And last but not least, it's our boy Quatre, the Sandrock Gundam. Probably the most attractive color scheme of all of these 5. I'm going to just put that out there right now. I love purple. I would say this is probably the least changed of all of them from the TV series color version. The only differences being that this one is in new colors, the purple chest, and slightly modified colors elsewhere on the body, and then, of course, the cloak. But apart from that, I believe the base model suit is physically unchanged. But it's been a while since I built the base version, so let's take a look. And finally, we have the Sandrock. This one's box art is a little more akin to the box art for the Wing Zero. It's a very static pose. It's a very specific moment from the film, being the moment when Quatre, Duo, and Troa all retrieve their Gundams from the resource disposal satellite and are about to launch to Earth to fight the Manimea army in, I'm pretty sure it's Brussels, but I could be mistaken. I really need to do my research. But yeah, it's wearing the armored cloak, which really not sure the purpose of it, besides just looking neat and giving Bandai a reason to charge a little extra money. But, you know, typical of p-bandai, it's just the single color with nothing on the sides. Though this one does have some printing in English, basically calling out that the model has been painted and that your mileage may vary. But we do get a full set of water slides. Much like the Altron, there's just a lot of warnings and unit-specific markings on here. Nothing really all that interesting. I never use these. I kind of don't like... I hate using water slides just in general, but stuff like this, if it's not something that's strictly visible on the mobile suit in the show, I generally don't like to use it. So I will not be using these. First up, we got runner L1. This is parts of the Cloak, which I was surprised when this thing was announced. It was only released last year. It was the last one to be released of the Endless Waltz p-bandai models. I was surprised to see that it was molded in plastic, as opposed to being, you know, soft goods. Because when Bandai did the high-grade model back in 1998, it had a soft goods cloak, and it actually looked pretty all right. And I thought really long and hard about skipping this version of the Sandrock and buying the mass retail TV series version and then the high-grade version, painting the TV series version as the movie version and adapting the TV series, and adapting the high-grade's cloak to fit it. But yeah, that's too much work. Anyway, so this is basically the collar around the neck. This looks like the back piece. It's articulated in a few places, and there's more pieces to see. I don't know how it all goes together, but it's neat that they molded it very tattered. This will respond really well to some dry brushing, though it could have used some texture, like, you know, some canvas texture to it. So that's kind of a bummer that they didn't do that. We've got a few self-adhesive foil back stickers, eyes, forehead sensors. Guessing these are probably go somewhere on the shoulder armors. Not sure about those ones over there. Kind of a bummer that they couldn't get proper color separation on everything, but you know, it is what it is. Eye runner is our clear parts. So you got your eyes and forehead sensors for the head, and I don't think this one gets used. I think this was for the shield for the TV series version. So I think it's going to be just a leftover piece. Because I can't think of anywhere that it might go. The A runner, naturally, is the system-injected runner. So you got all the gray, some shoulder armor parts, some skirt armor parts, and then the darker gray, some midsection armor plate for the back of the hand, and then red. This is a really vibrant, very bright red. Got the chest vents, forehead, crest, center, and chin, and some head crest, the mohawk, which is done in 3 parts, incidentally. I think the reason for that being that the original version of this, the head crest, this portion was gray and this portion was yellow, so they just had the parts left over separated in this way. So they just continued to keep the molding the same way. L2, we got the rest of the cloak. Yeah, no, same as the other. You know, it's tattered at the ends. Could have used some texture. Don't know what else to say. Might be able to paint it to give it the impression of texture, but I'll have to do some research to figure out how to do that. Polycap set, PC205. Same as the last one. We got another system-injected runner. This is runner K. These are parts for the shoulder armors over the cloak. We've got some skirt armor parts, as well as more, I believe, shoulder armor parts here and here. Parts for the hands. This one is unique. Like the Wing Zero, it's intended to have white hands. So you got your thumbs here and here in white, and then it's got the armor panel on the back of the hand, which is in black. So that's kind of cool that it stands out a little bit in that way. I'm guessing these are probably also parts for the shoulder armors, but I'm not sure. I think this must be part of the frame for the head. Runner B2, dark gray, feet stuff, plus also some collars for the wrists. The XA runner on this one is molded in white. I'm guessing there's probably another copy of this molded in gray, because you got the hands, you got to have them all done in white. But like the frame parts, like the forearms and the midsection and whatnot, I'm sure are all duplicated in gray. The F runner has the forehead crest, the inserts for the shoulder. Not really sure what those are. I think they're supposed to be shoulder jammers of some sort. The Vulcan cannons. I think this might be part of the forehead center crest, maybe. I'm not really sure what all of these are, but these are for the shield, which, again, I don't think is used in this version. There might be all the parts of it, so that would be cool if you could actually assemble it and just leave it off. But yeah, I don't think it's used in this version at all. Some more purple stuff. Head frame parts, probably side skirts, part of the cockpit, I'm guessing, shoulder armors, more skirt armor parts, I think. Incidentally, I love this purple. I mean, I love purple just in general, but this shade of purple is just gorgeous. It reminds me of like the Rick Dom. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like on the gray side of purple. I've tried mixing this color when I did a Rick Dom model like 15 years ago, and it was a huge challenge to get it right. It was so hard to get the mix exactly right, but I got it really damn close, and it looked really good. I wish I still had that model. Blades for the Heat Shotels. This is Runner J. These are very flexible. I can't tell what this plastic is. It doesn't say what kind of plastic it is, but it's not styrene. It's more rigid than like TPE or like polycap material, but it's very, very flexible. So I think the intent is, you know, if you're not going to be able to like jab somebody with these, since they are the blades for the weapon. Actually, it feels like the same kind of plastic as a beam saber blade would be made of, just not transparent. Hey, look at that, I was right. We got a duplicate of the XA runner in gray. So none of this is going to get used. But we got the midsection, forearms, connection for the abdomen to the torso, got the torso frame itself, and the latch to attach to an action base. I like being right. Runner C1 has some backpack parts. I love the backpack on this model. It's like there's not a lot of models, or there's not a lot of mobile suits in the Gundam Wing universe that have like really elaborate backpacks, but this one has like 4 big thrusters on it, and they have like articulating pods, and they look really cool. And I'm really excited to build it. But yeah, so this is the main central backpack unit. These appear to be the articulating pods, which is also where the heat shotels attach, and they kind of are hooked in by this. This looks like it might be the collar for the neck, front and rear codpiece sections. Not really sure. These look like they might be the mounting points for those shoulder jammers, or whatever the hell they are. So this one's interesting. We got the B1 runner in 2 colors with different gated off sections. So the correct purple chest, plus this is another part for the shield. So this part could very easily have just been left off. So I'm guessing there must be a complete shield in here. But this portion in gray has these jammers or whatever. I'm just going to call them jammers, molded in gray, which is the correct color. So they just shot this entire section in gray to include them, and this part will just be more spares. We got an extra section of the C2 runner. I'm guessing, because we looked at this part of it earlier and it was all in black. So I'm guessing these are parts of the side skirts. This is, I think, the neck, collar, front and rear, codpiece sections, and some parts for the shoulder armors, I think, that are all supposed to be in purple that were the same color as the backpack on the TV series version, probably the same black or dark gray as those were. The G2 runner, I'm guessing again that there's probably a duplicate of this part with a lot more attached to it somewhere else in the box, because we got 2 of the 4 thrusters, 2 of the 4 cylindrical knee blocks, and I'm guessing these are elbow cylindrical blocks, and the forearm or the wrist collar. The D2 runner, mostly leg armor parts, thighs, shins, ankle frame armor supports, knee blocks, some stuff for the shoulders as well as also the upper arm. And the D1 runner, yeah, that looks like it's a complete set of parts for the shield. That's a surprise to me that they would have included that at all, because Sandrock never used the shield in the movie. Whatever. You got the rest of the leg parts. This portion over is basically just copied over from the last runner we looked at. Then you've got your pilot figure, Quatre, who I don't think has a change of wardrobe from the TV series to the movie, which I think all the other characters do. Even if the only change is just like Hiro going from shorts to long pants. All the other characters have a more significant wardrobe change. You've got the forearm armor parts, midsection armor parts, the face, and then the upper leg armors. Runner H, all in ABS, has the remains of the frame parts. You got the cockpit, some chest parts, some upper torso parts, the pilot seat, knees, feet parts, some more parts for the backpack, it looks like, skirt frames, more parts for the backpack, the hand grips for the heat shotels, some inserts for the codpiece, and some, I don't know, some joint parts I can't really identify. The G1 runner, like I said, we're going to have more of this. A bunch more stuff attached to it. It also includes the beam submachine gun that, again, the Sandrock never utilized in the movie. But hey, they've got the parts. They might as well include them because they can charge a premium. So yeah, the beam submachine gun, it basically resembles an Uzi, has a fold-out shoulder stock, can plug into the rear skirt, and then the frames for the heat shotels. And last but not least, we have 2 of the XB runner. Same as we've seen a million times, lower legs, upper legs. Ankles, double-ended ball joint for the legs. Thumb, which won't get used. Thigh connection, shoulder connection, parts for the arms, knees, etc. All in ABS, all standard for what we've seen before. And the instructions, same with the Altron, just the extracted version of the Gundam from the box art. It doesn't appear, actually. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this actually isn't a painting. This might actually be like a painted version of the model. Because it implies the actual product, it says product may vary, completed product in images has been painted. So this might be just a photoshopped model kit and not an actual like CG render or painting like I've always come to expect from box art. So yeah, I also forgot to mention, you can see the death scythe and the heavy arms on the box art as well. I think I forgot to mention that when I described the box art. Opens up with the parts callouts, and this one has a lot of X's. You got a few there, you got a few there, a few there, a few there, some over here, there, bunch over here, bunch over here, bunch more over there. Yeah, a lot of duplicate parts. Assembly, you got your overall parts breakdown. So yeah, you got your beam machine gun and shield, so that's a surprise. Assembly begins with the torso, and then onto the head, arms, legs, more legs, and like the Altron, no center section. Very bummed about that. But those are involved and complicated to put together because they involve Photoshop and doing like big fancy photo shoots and everything, so whatever. Midsection, backpack, final assembly of the model itself, and then moving on to the weapons, shield. You can do the cross crusher. You can assemble the 2 heat shotels and attach them to the shield unit and assemble it's called the cross crusher weapon, which I believe it uses one time in the show and for some reason is like an iconic feature of it. But whatever. And then finally the active anti-beam coating cape. It's a tarp. I don't know, maybe the shoulder modules generate some sort of anti-beam shield or something, who knows, but whatever. And then finally on the back side you've got your paint and marking guide, which unlike the Altron does not have a separate little call-out for how to paint the pilot. So how am I supposed to know how to paint my dear Quatre Rababa winner? But yeah, this one is actually very helpful because it does have some text in English, since this one was produced in late 2017, which is around the time when Bandai started printing a lot more of their instructions in English. So instead of just being in Japanese, it's now bilingual. And the translation's actually quite good. So that's the Sandrock. And that's a complete set. Wasn't sure I was ever actually going to be able to say I had the complete set. When I first got wind that Bandai was releasing these as exclusives that were going to be hard to come by, I had just about given up. I figured it was just going to be Wing Zero and Death Scythe Hell were the only ones I would ever get because they were the only mass retail versions. I mean, it's appropriate that those are the only 2 that would have come out because you got the Angel and the Devil. They balance each other well, but you can't just do just the 2. If you're going to get one, you got to get them all. And I now finally have them all. So I'm very excited about that. This is a really nice looking model. I'm probably not going to do much with the Cloak. I'll probably assemble it and display it with it on for about an hour and then take it off and then put it in a box and forget about it. Same with the shield, same with the beam machine gun. Because, yeah, I mean, it didn't use the shield or the beam machine gun in the movie. It wore the Cloak for all of about 30 seconds on screen. So yeah, I'll probably just display it, permanently with the other 4, just however they appeared in the movie, with whatever armament they had, and when they appeared in the movie. Because that's just the way I am. But yeah, the fact that I've got them all, I'm super excited. I wish I could build them all right away, but I'm going to be too busy for quite a while to get around to it. I do have quite a lot of additional content that's going to be coming out in addition to all of my road trip vlogs, which I should be getting out in the next little bit. I'm going to have some other unboxings that I've done in the last couple of months that I never got around to posting. All of those will be coming out probably between now and the end of June or July. I'm going to try and space stuff out so I don't get overdone, because I have a tendency to do that, do too many all at once and then burn out. And then, my channel sits idle for 2 to 3 months or a year. But yeah, I'm going to try and get some work done on catching up on my backlog of footage to have all that done, and then get back to building. So I'm excited. So thank you everyone out there for watching. Happy modeling.